All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our next little section of notes here. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Charts are pretty much undivided, ultimately, completely the least favorite problems of all my students ever of all time. But don't worry about it. Don't worry no more. We'll get through it together. I promise. It'll be just fine. Anyways, tables, another word for charts, one or the other. Charts or tables, same thing, same difference. They help to organize our thinking with complex problems and help us to see relationships that we might not otherwise see. In these earlier problems, like seven more than four times the number, the relationship was very obvious there. Now we're going to get to problems that are not so obvious, and as a result, a table is going to help us organize that information and get us to the place where we can write an equation. These are going to come up multiple times this year, so don't kiss them goodbye after today, unfortunately. Now, in every chart, you're either going to have two objects or things that are related to each other in some way. Um, you will be filling in information about each using some kind of formula. And basically, they all are set up the same kind of way. You have your chart here, and then the side of the chart always is designated to your thing. So let's say we were talking about, two sports teams, and that one scored twice as many as last week. Well, the sports teams, those guys go here. Talking about people, the people go there. And then at the top, usually we have a formula going all the way across these two or three columns, and then we just fill in the information. I know this seems very, very vague and unclear what I'm talking about, but I just want to make it a point that these two boxes are always our objects in our sentence, whereas these are the things describing those objects. So here's an example of this. You don't need to write this down. I'm actually just going to run through this example once so you can see it, and then you're going to do some different practice for me. So, a roll of carpet 9 feet wide is 30 feet longer than a roll of carpet 15 feet wide. Both rolls have the same area. Find the dimensions of each. So if you tried what we did before and just sort of mark this up, you're going to sort of run into a wall in that it's very unclear what the equation is going to be. And that's where the table comes in. So let's fill in things. I already have the table made. Eventually you'll be making your own, but just for today, I'll always give you the table. You just need to fill it out. So let's see here. A roll of carpet. We'll call that the first roll. The first roll is 9 feet wide. So we already have that. That's 9. Width, first roll. And then it's 30 feet longer than a roll of carpet that is 15 feet wide. So in other words, it's 30 more than the other one. I don't know how long the other one is, so I'm just going to call that X. All right. Now, the other one, which I will write in blue, the only thing it tells us is it's 15 feet wide. So, again, the length should just be X here. And now after we have these two together, we should be able to actually write an equation using this last piece of information, which says both rolls have the same area. And now this is where the formula part comes in, because normally you would actually have a third column here relating these things to each other, and that is area. And so we're going to fill this in ourselves, unfortunately. But the way these are related, you guys know this. Length times width is equal to area when we're talking about rectangles. So I need to multiply these things together to get the area. So this is going to be 9. And then in parentheses, I'm not even going to bother multiplying it yet. 30 plus x. In other words, I multiplied my length by my width. And then 15 times x is even easier. And now what am I going to have to do with these two? Well, it says they have the same area. So what that tells me is that these things are equal. In other words, our equation is actually 9 times the quantity, 30 plus x, which if you look at the chart, that was the area of the first roll. That is equal to 15x, which is the area of the second roll. I know that that can seem pretty complicated, but I know you know how to solve the equation once I have it. It's just a matter of, can we fill out the chart correctly and then pull information out of that to write an equation? For today, we're just going to focus on filling out the chart. We'll get to writing the equations probably tomorrow, but we'll see how we're doing. So this next section, all you're going to do for me is just fill out the charts, and that's it.